Yo, what's going on, gamers? It's Ryan 6 days a week, and just a couple days ago, a huge windstorm hit the northwest, so power and internet went out for a couple of days. Trust me, it's a lot worse than it looks. And hey, I had a lot of time to think about this specific message from SCF's Q&A. It made me actually think about this one from a Q&A a year ago about the same thing. Fishing essentially being on the back burner of ideas. Not really a priority. And hey, you might agree with them, so this video, I'm going to try to convince you that fishing is a huge benefit to the game, or can be, and should be prioritized. Now, that clip you saw at the beginning, that was actually real. That's a fishing system I designed over a couple days while internet was down, but the interaction is very, very basic, and I actually think that's okay, because I think the intricacies of the system shine with what you get out of fishing. So let's take a look at some of the fish you could get. Starting with the utility fish, so fish you would use in the dungeon to your own benefit, like a buff, a single buff. And this could be in the form of a potion from the alchemist, maybe a cooked meal from the tavern master, or a completely new merchant. I think either way works thematically. Now, let's look at some of the buffs and fish that could be used. Starting with the roasted pearl trout, which gives you a 25% drop chance to beast hunting loot. Right now in the game, we have luck potions, which give you plus X amount of luck, but with some monster drops, this actually makes it so it's worse. So the more luck you have, reduces the drop chances for wolf pelts and other common grade items. As I currently understand it, hunting loot, or pelts, claws, other stuff, that is on a separate drop table compared to actual loot, gear loot. So maybe this potion or meal from this fish could just target that specific drop table. I don't know, I'm sure there's more to it. Next, we have the roasted mudfish, which gives you a 25% increased chance to receive double ore from mining interactions. So in this game currently, mining is a bit of a chore, and it's gotten quite expensive to craft gear, mostly driven by the arena. Now, I think this would add to the gameplay loop and convince players to go fishing because there's a lot of grinders in Dark and Darker. It's actually a huge RuneScape presence in Dark and Darker that enjoys just crafting, as basic as it is. So the existence of this fish and this specific buff will just open up another economic pathway for players to succeed in. Honestly, I think people would really enjoy this kind of buff and the chance to get this fish. Oh, it's going to be an uncommon fish too, so a little bit harder to get than the first one. Alright, next we got the roasted blood bream. I'm saying roasted in front of all these fish just because my original idea was to, pair it with the chef. You'd exchange the blood bream to the chef and receive a roasted blood bream. I don't know, it doesn't really matter. Again, this could be just like a potion thing you craft at the alchemist. But roasted blood bream, 10% damage resistance to demons, or undead, or beast, whatever it's going to be. Right now there's no bosses that are demons, so of course undead and beast resistance would go a lot further. But hey, just another pathway for players to seek, I imagine someday PvE will be so hard and time consuming and difficult that every little buff would count and players would seek out this specific fish when they're doing some sort of crazy long inferno run against hordes of demons. I don't know. Just think about it, Ironmace. Think about it. I think it could be really awesome. Alright, let's stop talking about utility fish, even though, I have plenty of more ideas on that topic, and let's go into what I call the random gem exchange, or more like prize fishes. Since we know Dark and Darker is going to slowly shift into a gem socketing system where you take gems and you combine that with armor and receive some sort of modifier. Not a random modifier, I think it's a selective modifier. So what I'm thinking is, hey, you go fishing, you get these uncommon, rare, epic, legendary fish, and you exchange it with the fishmonger, or could be anyone, could be any of the merchants, for a random gem of that quality. And hey, it'd make it so fishing itself is now, it's favorable in terms of PvP. You'll be able to get some good PvP items through fishing, or PvP upgrades at least. You can just get full items from fishing, but at least some upgrades to your existing items. And if you bring back that quest that, requires 4 legendary gems that gives you 1 large gold chest, hey, this could be another route for players to get those gems that doesn't involve just opening a bunch of chests and killing bosses on repeat. Players like options, trust me, I do. And finally, one last fish list is the trophy fish, so very, very rare fish that spawn in specific locations and, could be some sort of cosmetic reward at the end of the season if you collect all 4, or maybe they just sell for a high gold value to the merchant. I don't know. Maybe even just something that you hang up in your lobby, frame the fish on the wall, let players see, flex on them a little bit. You got options, Ironmace. Trust me, people are gonna love fishing. Do fishing, make it a priority. I swear it's gonna bring back players. I'll even do it for you. All right, peace, bye, I love you.